In tonight's Big Story Breakdown, we are taking a closer look at Oklahoma's criminal justice system, from what happens after someone is sent to prison to the rights families have after a crime.
And we're starting with a case that sparked serious concerns about that system. Lawrence Paul Anderson was released from prison after his sentence was commuted, then went on to murder 3 people. Today, he's serving life without parole. But a recent move within Oklahoma's prison system is once again impacting the family he left behind.
Fox 25's Robert De La Garza talked with a man who lost his father and 4-year-old daughter to Anderson. Robert.
That's right. The family says a Vine alert showed Lawrence Anderson had been moved from maximum security prison in McAllister to a medium security correctional facility in Hinton. They know Anderson is serving life without parole, but say the transfer has raised new questions about why his prison placement was changed. For Toranzo Pye and Tasha Yates, Lawrence Anderson's life sentence did not end their trauma.
And we just want to, we can never put it behind us. It's always going to be with us. But nobody has the idea of what we're going through.
It's something they still live with every day.
I want justice for my daddy and my baby because he never should have been out.
But after getting a notification that Anderson will be moved from a maximum security prison to a correctional facility just 4 years later, that trauma has crept back into their lives.
It makes me mad. It brings everything back up. My anxiety goes up. It's just like it's just happened yesterday, man.
Anderson, who killed Pye's father, Leon, their daughter, Chaos, and neighbor, Andrea Blankenship, back in 2021, is serving multiple life sentences without parole.
So how does this person commit all these murders and get to just twice in the last 4 years go to a medium facility? How does that happen?
Those are questions we asked Oklahoma Department of Corrections, who said they would not comment on Anderson's specific transfer or housing assignment.
You know, like, I do feel like it's a slap in the face. For Lawrence to do some time that is hard, I want for him to be able to go to the maximum yard where he belongs.
And after years of pain and questions surrounding their loss,
at some point is for somebody to recognize what happened to my family.
One message has brought that trauma back to the surface. So we reached out to ODOC, and they say inmate placement is based on factors including security and safety needs, behavior, bed space, and other operational considerations, and that those decisions are routinely reviewed. Reporting in studio, I'm Robert De La Garza, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, Robert. Oklahoma uses a system called VINE, which stands for Victim Information and Notification Every Day. According to the DOC, victims and other registered users can sign up to receive automatic notifications about changes in an offender's custody status. That includes prison transfers, release, escape, apprehension, or death. The service is free, and users can choose how they want to receive those alerts. Now, VINE is just one way that crime victims can keep track of an offender, but Oklahoma law also gives victims specific rights throughout the criminal justice process.
Those protections are known as Marcy's Law, a victim's rights measure added to the Oklahoma Constitution in 2018.
Oftentimes, the victims are lost. From the moment they become a victim, they have no clue what they are entitled to and how to advocate for themselves, so we come alongside and do that for them.
The law is named after Marcy Nicholas, a California college student murdered by her ex-boyfriend in 1983. Days after her death, her family encountered the man accused of killing her in public, not knowing he had been released on bail. That experience helped inspire a national movement to strengthen the rights of crime victims.
Oklahoma voters approved State Question 794 in 2018, expanding constitutional protections for victims. Those include the right, when requested, to be notified and present at certain proceedings and to be heard on matters, including release, sentencing, and parole. Victims also have the right to reasonable notice if an offender is released or escapes from custody.
So how did Lawrence Paul Anderson get out of prison in the first place? Anderson was serving a 20-year sentence when he applied for a commutation in January 2019. The Pardon and Parole Board denied that request in July, but records show Anderson applied again just weeks later, even though board rules at the time generally required him to wait 3 years after a denial. Despite that, his second application moved forward. In January 2020, the board recommended reducing his sentence to 9 years. Governor Stitt approved the commutation that June, and Anderson was released from prison in January 2021. 3 weeks later, he carried out the murders.
If Anderson was supposed to wait 3 years before applying again, how did his second request get through? An Oklahoma County grand jury later investigated and found Anderson was wrongly placed back on the commutation docket. The report says the problem should have been clear from reviewing his second application. The grand jury also heard evidence at least one high-level Pardon and Parole Board staff member became aware of the error while there was still time to correct it. But the error was not brought to the attention of the board or the governor's office. The grand jury concluded the 3 deaths could have been avoided had the board's rules and applicable law been followed. After a failure with deadly consequences, what changed?
The Pardon and Parole Board now has specific eligibility requirements for commutation. An offender generally has to serve 1/3 of their sentence before applying, or 5 years if the total sentence is more than 15 years. The board also uses a 2-stage review process. Stage 1 is a qualification review where the application and other materials are reviewed before the case can advance. Only applications that clear that review move to a Stage 2 commutation hearing, and the 3-year waiting period that was at the center of Anderson's case still exists. After a commutation is denied, an offender generally has to wait 3 years before applying again.
At a Stage 2 hearing, victims or their representatives, prosecutors, law enforcement, and judicial representatives can also protest the request.
So after everything that's happened, could Lawrence Paul Anderson ever ask the state to commute his sentence again? Under his plea agreement, the answer is no. Anderson was sentenced in 2023 to 5 consecutive life sentences. The first 3 for the 3 murders are life without the possibility of parole. And as part of the agreement, Anderson also agreed never to appeal his convictions and never to seek another commutation. He also agreed not to profit from telling his story through books, movies, podcasts, or media interviews. That was your Big Story Breakdown. You can learn more about commutation requests in this case on OKCFox.com.
Plus, you can watch all of our previous Big Story Breakdowns on our YouTube channel. Just scan the QR code on your screen or search OKC Fox.